Morning from the beautiful mountainous city of Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek. I'm standing at the moment at the beautiful square called Alatur Square, and I'm about to go in the National History Museum for Bishkek or Kyrgyzstan. So let's go inside the National Museum and I'll show you how National Museum looks like. So let's go together. This is the grand entrance of the National History Museum. It's exactly at the back side of the majestic Alatur Square, and you can see the big, huge snow-covered mountains at the back. What a beautiful scene it is. So let's go inside and see how the square looks. This is the entrance of the National History Museum. The ticket is for $2, so let's go inside. So first we'll deposit our bags. So this is the entrance now. We have deposited our bags.
Very good, yes. Best veggie burger ever. Yeah. So we will begin from the beginning of the ages, from the Stone Age. The Stone Age on the territory of the Kyrgyzstan begins around 2.5 million years ago. On the territory of the Fergana Valley, we have the early stone tools, and on the territory of the Isikul Valley. During the Stone Age, people lived in the cave like this. This is the reconstruction of the Selimkur cave. In the Selimkur cave was found one of the earliest stone tools. This is around 120,000 years ago. During this time, people hunt on the big animals like mammoths. You can see the tooth of the mammoth and the tusk of the mammoth. Was found near the Bishkek around 12,000 years ago. Wow! And this is the reconstructions of the Neanderthals who lived here. I have a question. How old does he look?
Body size wise, he looks very young.
I guess in 30s.
30s?
Yeah? You think?
No.
Okay.
12.
Correct. 12. It's a little bit warmer.
Okay. 16.
Then for sure, 14.
10. 8.
9.
Oh, really?
So this is a 9 years old girl. The reconstruction is made as a boy, but it's another whole story.
Okay.
So this girl was found in the Teshiktash cave on the territory of Uzbekistan. This is earliest ritual grave that was found on the territory of the Central Asia. This sort of reconstruction was made by the physical anthropologist during the Soviet Union, and he supposed that it might be the boy, but later it helped with the DNA analysis. It reveals that it's a girl. Don't look near at Don't look.
Only the face.
Oh yes, only the face. Okay.
What year?
So the original museum was in that building. Later it moved here, migrated, and then until the 2021 we have a restoration. So we use the stone tools as kind of indicator of the time. For example, this stone tools is Paleolithic, 2.5 million till 12,000 years before Christ. The stone tools called Macrolithic. This is huge tools, and during this time we have a mammoth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll be able to see mammoths again in a couple of 10 or 20 years. They're bringing them back actually.
I don't hear about this in the paleontology.
So they find the genes in Arctic region, genes for mammoth, and they're using Indian elephant to to give them rebirth actually. So there is a plan for that, and I think it'll happen in less than 10 to 20 years.
Okay, the
Yeah.
next stage is a Mesolithic, 12 till 7,000 years BC. During this time we have a global warming, the mammoths went extinct on the territory of the Kyrgyzstan, and we have more little animals like bears, deer, and etc. And during this time we created Microlithic, the little stone tools. Okay. And the next age, during the Eneolith, 7 till 3,000 years BC, we adopted we domesticated a hunting dog. And we created the first settlements on the territory of the Kyrgyzstan. We go from the hunter-gathering societies to the settled or nomadic societies. So the next age is the Bronze Age. What did you see here?
Tools.
And axe,
This is X, yep.
No, it's not an axe.
hammer, and maybe a
No.
pipe.
It's I don't know how to translate in English. It's for the soil.
Okay, got it.
It's
Plow.
the plow, yes.
Yeah.
So this is the Shamshi treasure. This is the biggest bronze treasure that was found on the territory of the whole Central Asia. So the Bronze Age begins 3,000 years BC until at 1,000 years BC. This is the first mirrors. During this time, people practice sun worshipping, and the mirrors are associated with the sun. How sun goes across the earth, the same mirrors goes across our body when we look to each other. And this is the first decoration for the hairs. This is a hairpin.
No.
The similar was found on the territory of the Persia and on the territory of the Russia. So we suppose that they have economical or cultural connections. During this time, we have two main archaeological cultures. First culture is the Andronova culture. They live on the north of the Kyrgyzstan. They were how can I say, the settled shepherds.
Okay.
This is the first people who bring here, here horses and who brings here yurts, the nomadic home. They have quite simple ceramics with the geometrical decorations.
So, I'm going to ask you a question with Shimon. So, do you know when the first Utes came in to Kyrgyzstan? What date?
3,000 years BC.
3,000 years ago. Okay.
So, on the south of the country, we have another culture. It's called the Chust culture. This is the settled urban culture. They more have a colored ceramics. The ceramics was colored by ochre, and more hair decorations and how can I say, items of the luxury. But the Andronov people have more weaponries. This is the Karakol treasure. This is the weaponry of the Andronov people. Here you can see the long daggers. That are made out of bronze. Later, this kind of daggers go to another culture, the Scythian. And this is from the funerary inventory. During this time, we have an evolution of the funerary rituals, and people assume that the underground is another world in which you need all of your things. So for the warrior it would be weaponry, for the woman it would be cosmetics or decoration, and etc. and etc. Any questions? Okay, then we'll move to the rock art. So this is the petroglyphs. On the territory of the Kyrgyzstan, petroglyphs begins around 3000 BC and until 19th century. This is the Bronze Age. The most prominent thing about the Bronze Age is sun worshipping, and this is one of the proofs. Here you can see the solar boy.
What is it again?
Solar boy, the sign, and this is the first image of the god. This is a
Okay.
little boy with a huge head, and with a huge head, and we suppose that this is a sign of the sun worshipping, and the sun worshipping was practiced by the Indo-Iranian people who live here around the Bronze Age.
At that time, you know what? The pyramids were already built.
Huh?
Pyramids were already built.
In Egypt.
Ah. So the next is a bull. These horns, his horns united into the one oval, into the one circle, also the sign of the sun worshipping, and the ritual dances before the hunting.
Is this religion like Zoroastrianismus? Like
Zoroastrianism?
Yeah, is it similar?
Yes, it's similar, but it's not quite the Zoroastrianism.
Okay.
Zoroastrianism begins later.
Okay.
So this is the ritual dances before hunting. The petroglyph is quite hugely related to the hunting. For example, we have ecological theory according to which if you killed animal during the hunt, you can draw this animal on the petroglyphs, on the stones. It kind of replaces the killed animal.
And where did they find this? It's really important.
This petroglyphs are found all across the Kyrgyzstan, but mostly in the Issyk Valley and into the Fergana Valley. Also, this is the Metal Age. This is the first nomadic people who is here on the territory of Kyrgyzstan. Come here in the first millennium before Christ. This is a funerary inventory. This is the pots, the cauldrons that we find near the burial mounds. We suppose it was for the ritual purposes. So this is how can I say, the censer for the fire. So this is the first truth of the Zoroastrianism. They were fire worshippers, and they have the mind, and the main goddess was the goddess of fire and hope. This is why we found a lot of the fireplaces and the censers near the burial mounds, near the tombs. And this is the sacrificial table on which the Saka people, the Spihan people, killed animals for their ancestors. So from this begins the ancestor cult that we still see here in the Kyrgyzstan. When I say about one archaeological culture, I didn't mean it was one, for example, nation, one ethnic, or even one race. Okay. Here you can see this is the image from the Persia. It shows the Saka Tigrahauda, the Saka of the northern Kyrgyzstan. How you can see they look quite European, yes? But on the same place, at the same time, was created this kind of feet for the sacrificial table. This feet made out of Asian-looking woman. So we suppose we have two theories. One theory according to which the Saka people take out women from another tribe or another culture, so they didn't have inbreeding. Or another theory that we have two groups of the migration from the created Saka people from the Indo-Iranian places, from the Persia, and from the eastern Siberia, and they ended up together in the middle and created one historical culture. Here you can see the weapon, part of the pilot, the archaeological house, the weapon. This is the one that is called Akina, and Sagari, the axis for the house. Yes! Decorated. This is the construction of the Tigrahauda head. Yes, it's made out of the felt, and we suppose, ethnographers suppose that this kind of felt heads later go to the Turkic nomadic groups and it become a kalpak. You will see in the city later.
Is this a replica?
Yes, this is a reconstruction from from this image.
Yeah.
Another is the animalistic style. This is a bulls. This kind of bulls we now raise. We domesticated them on the territory of the Alai region. This is the horse equipment with the how can I say?
I can read.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know how to call this animal. Mountain goat. Horse pendants with the mountain goats, and this is a plague bells made out of the animals. It's made out of the predators. So we have an underground room for the buried person. With the buried person, we have a funerary inventory. Later, this room was closed by the wooden blocks, and they created the artificial hill on the surface. Around here, you can see the stone circles. It is the place of the sacrifices. When during the excavation, we found animal bones here. So we suppose that every year, for example, or every half a year, the descendants of this buried person come here, make a sacrifice, and